What's happening, guys? Welcome into another boxing breakdown and prediction video for this weekend's highly anticipated heavyweight clash between unified champ Anthony Joshua as he takes on his IBF mandatory challenger Kubrat Pulev in London on Saturday. So let's get into it. Anthony Joshua is making the first defence of the belts he won back from Andy Ruiz Jr. last December. And he's up against a really tricky opponent here in Kubrat Pulev. Joshua fought what I thought was an excellent fight last December in that wide decision win against Andy Ruiz Jr. Rob McCracken seems to really turn Joshua into Wladimir Klitschko 2.0 right now, similar to what Emmanuel Stewart did all those years ago, moving effectively, working behind a solid jab and controlling that defense through range. Now, in Klitschko's case, that defense was primarily in tying up his opponents who were looking to get in the inside against him, such as Alexander Povetkin. But Joshua still hasn't mastered that aspect of his game yet, so it'll be interesting to see how he copes in this fight against a strong, aggressive fighter like Pulev. Look, Pulev's an alpha. He's not coming here to take part and catch a check. You know, while we see so many fighters on the fringe of world title level content simply to go 12 rounds with the champ and cash a big payday, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that Pulev believes he has the beating of Joshua in this fight, and he will fight accordingly. Looking at Pulev's only career loss to date against Wladimir Klitschko 6 years ago might look on the surface to be a complete walkover. 4 knockdowns with a knockout in the fifth, for example. But that was simply because Pulev forced the pace in that fight. That's what he does. 2 of the 3 Klitschko wins surrounding that fight, both before and after, all went the distance. And Wladimir was often content against higher echelon fighters, you know, like Alexander Povetkin, who we mentioned, and David Haye, to simply jab, grab, and hold his way to a lopsided decision win. But Pulev wouldn't let him do that in their fight. The Bulgarian had his left jab planted firmly in Klitschko's grill all night long, and didn't give, to the best of his ability, Klitschko a chance to hold him continuously on the inside like he had so many other opponents. And you'd imagine this is exactly how this fight's going to play out as well. Pulev will look to keep Anthony Joshua busy from the opening bell with a solid left jab that will keep ticking over from the get-go. And this fight will all come down to how Joshua responds to that constant jab. Now, Vladimir Klitschko's response was pretty emphatic. Pulev was iced cold in the fifth round from a massive left hook to the jaw, which had him completely unable to beat the count. And Joshua definitely has the same ability to do that here. But we have to remember that was Pulev's only career loss to date. And he's been in there with some excellent fighters. If I had to make a straight pick on this fight of what exactly I think is going to happen, then I probably would take Joshua by KO. To me, that's the most likely scenario here. Is Pulev's going to push the pace and Joshua's going to be forced to fire back. However, at minus 250, 2-5, it's a very heavy number to lay on a guy who's gone the distance in 2 of his last 3 wins. The better play for me in this one, a pizza money bet effectively, is Pulev by decision at plus 2,200, 22-1. Look, I know the fight's in the UK. I know the judges are going to be biased towards the superstar in this one. We all want to see that Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua showdown next year. But the fact is, 2 things are going to happen in this fight. Pulev is going to have that jab popping from the first bell, and he's going to make Joshua engage him. So either Joshua does a Wladimir Klitschko and ices this dude inside the distance, or he starts bleeding rounds to a guy with one of the best jabs in the heavyweight division, which will be popping in Joshua's face all night long. Look, 22-1, we're getting well compensated for a small play on that latter scenario here. So, yeah, I'll take a 2% long shot play on the Kubrat Pulev by decision prop at a massive 22-1 price for Saturday. We have a 4% play up on the undercard of this fight that we like a ton. So head on over to WagerTalk for that as we bank boxing clients a mammoth plus 67.92% over our last 30-plus boxing plays this year. So now's a great time to jump on board and see what we're all about. That'll wrap things up for this edition of the Boxing Prediction Show. As always, leave us your thoughts. And you can also catch me over Twitter at the SportsWolf83 and at my handicapper page, Kevin Dolan, over at WagerTalk. As always, thanks for listening. And until next time, Slán Abhaile.